YouTube and Snapchat and Rumbles. Welcome back to another one of Tommy G's Sneakerhead reviews. So, these things are coming in fast and furious lately. Well, it's the holidays, what'd you expect, right? So, Jordan Brand is dropping some back-to-back sevens this week and next week. Now, I'm going to kind of do this a little bit ass backwards. I got both of them early, but the one I wanted to do today hasn't come in yet. It's actually being delayed. You know, it probably won't be in until next week, which is after the drop. But don't worry, because I got some good pro tips for you. But the one we're going to talk about today is the Jordan 7 Quai 54. This is a special edition Jordan 7, and I believe it was supposed to come out during the summer, because the reason they call it a Quai 54 is the Quai 54 is a street ball tournament that they hold in Paris, France. And apparently Jordan Brand is probably a sponsor. Every year they release a special edition shoe for this particular street ball tournament. And they typically drop in the summer. So this sneaker ended up on my feed early in the spring, and I actually ended up getting it. Funny, I got it below retail, and I got it, I want to say it was late August, early September, because I was wearing these things during the summer. And typically, I don't really have a lot of Jordan 7s. I mean, I'm a huge fan of everything between the Jordan 1 and the Jordan 14, with the exception of the 2. I don't like the Jordan 2. Not that it's a bad shoe, I just don't like it. I think it looks ugly. It looks like a friggin' moon boot. Some people love it. It's one of those shoes, either you love it or you hate it. That's so I don't have any 2s, and I never really went in on the 7s, because not that they were bad, not that I didn't like them. I actually did like them, but they look too much like the 6, and I always liked the 6 better. The thing about these 3 particular Jordans, 6, 7, and 8, is these were the first leg of the 3-peat championships. Jordan played and won his first championship wearing the 6, then the 7, then the 8. This is a thing for sneakerheads. This type of thing matters. But the 7 and the 8 were kind of like, I don't want to say, it's more like a malaise type of shoe. Like, it's there, it's cool, but like, the 6 was the one you wanted, I mean, listen, nothing is better than a pair, than the OG 6s, and the black nubuck with the infrared peaks at the bottom and little hits here and there. I mean, except for maybe the white and infrared, but which is on my bucket list of shoes. We'll get there. But the 7, I don't know. It was kind of I feel like the 7 and the 8s are kind of like forgotten shoes, and they're cool, and they have some innovations in and of their own right. There was some innovations off from the 6, and the 8. The 8 had the double lace lockdown type of deals, and the 7 had that inner sock liner, which we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about. So like I said, I only started really I bought my first pair of 7s this summer. It was the Jordan 7 Black Citrus. It's typically like when I'm shoe shopping, every sneakerhead has their own thing. You don't have to buy every single shoe that drops. I don't. I mean, it may seem like I do, but I definitely don't. There has to be something compelling about the shoe that hooks me. Either the color, the style, something about it, like some little like nuance about it, maybe the hook or the story behind it. There's got to be something that compels me to buy the shoe. And over the years, like, I've seen 7s, and I don't know, nothing really grabbed me about them, so I kind of just passed on them. The Citrus 7, it was just, I love, orange is my favorite color, so any kind of black and orange combo always gets my attention. And this was just black with orange. It was a black nubuck with orange stitching and the orange peaks and the red. I mean, you can Google it. It's out there. It was a cool shoe. So I bought it because I liked the color. And when I put them on, I was like, wow, these are really comfortable because of that inner sock liner. It really, like, it hugs your foot. which if you're hooping, that's kind of nice because it keeps your foot from shifting. And honestly, even in the summertime, it's a neoprene and a sock liner. You would think, oh my God, that's got to be hot and uncomfortable. And actually, no, because I guess it wicks the moisture away. I don't know, but it was pretty damn comfortable. So since I bought that pair, I kind of been looking for 7s, and when the Quai came into my purview, it was the colorway that got me. I could care less about the street ball tournament in Paris. Who cares? But it was the colorway that got me. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the shoe. Standard Jordan box here. Nothing fancy, nothing elaborate. And like I said, I've I grabbed these in, I want to say late August, early September. So I've worn these already. I mean, I know they look like they're brand new because I'm a little fanatical. I clean everything. But what grabbed me was the colorway. I always loved like the red and blue color combination. I mean, I like red, white, and blue. But, typically when you find red, white, and blue shoes, it looks a little too 4th of July-ish. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because I love wearing those in July. But I wanted something that I could pretty much work into like any kind of blue and red combo without it being over the top, and just have a little bit of, pop to it, but basically be a blue shoe with red. And this was it. And I gotta say, like, the red on it is also what got my attention. It's what made it unique, because it's not like a varsity red or a team red. It's like it's almost close to infrared. Matter of fact, the color code on the shoe, I gotta put my glasses on for this. This is perks of old age. Okay. The colorway on the shoe is neutral, indigo, and bright crimson. Okay, so the neutral part is, if you can see this right on the peak here, it's almost like a bone color, or it's like a that's what they call neutral. This is just white. The blue itself is a nice, they call it indigo. It's a touch lighter than a navy blue. I would look at that and call it navy blue, but they're calling it indigo, like the color of pen ink, I guess. I don't know. And then you have this bright crimson, which basically is infrared. If I compare these to anything that Jordan brand labels infrared, the color is very similar. So I just liked this color combination. Like I said, I've always liked red and blue, and it's got that little red, white, and blue combo without being like a walking American flag. So just take a look at the detail on the shoe. Okay, so we got the shoe itself is a mixture of suede and nubuck. So you got the base of the shoe here is all suede. It's a nice high nap, soft suede, and then the overlays here are basically all blue nubuck. You got your 23 in the back. Okay, again, neutral and that bright crimson. You got the pull strap has branded with the Quai 54 on the front. You have these nice, these funky little streaks, Air Jordan across the tongue, and then of course you got your Jumpman on the ankle. Now, a couple things about the Jordan 7. Like I said, you have that inner sock liner. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, right? It's a neoprene sock liner, which is actually, the tongue is part of that. Which, another thing I like about this is, like, if you're stacking jeans, over your shoes like most people do, the tongue doesn't get all wonky because it's part of that inner sock liner. So it kind of stays pretty true and keeps everything tucked in nicely. Then you got these wing flaps here. What a lot of people don't realize about the 7, and I myself didn't realize it until I actually bought a pair, is this is technically not a high top shoe. It's a low top. The sneaker stops about here. If you look inside, you see this is basically where your ankle tendon is. So this is actually a low top shoe, with these additional flaps built into the side for additional ankle support. So you get more mobility with your foot, but you still have some support there. And these aren't very thick. It's just 2 little pieces of leather, some venting on the side here to keep your foot cool. And like I said, that inner sock liner goes all throughout the shoe, even the back. This pull tab here is part of that inner sock liner. And like I said, it really hugs your foot and keeps it in place. Very comfortable shoe. I would say, I've said it before, the most comfortable pair of Jordans is the 12, without a doubt. I would say this runs a close second. And like I said, it's. I mean, if you look at the shape of it, even some of these overlays, it's reminiscent of the 6. You could see these two. Matter of fact, let's pull a pair of 6s. What do I got here? I'll pull the OGs just to give you an idea. You see, I mean, they're pretty similar. You know, I mean, they're different, but not so much. You know, so you can definitely see how these are a riff off of each other, but two completely different shoes in the sense you got that inner sock liner. You have these flaps here, which doesn't really make it a high top. It's not one solid collar, and the tread pattern on the bottom, though, however, is very similar. Jumpman is placed differently. Okay, so you got the crimson, you got that bone, you got that indigo blue color on the bottom. For basketball, if you're hooping with these, it's going to give your foot a nice fit. You know, you're not going to slide around. You don't have to crank the laces up. The sock liner keeps your foot in place. My only gripe about the 7 and the 6s is the tread pattern. This honeycomb tread pattern, it's not the greatest. I prefer like the concentric circles of the Jordan 1 has absolutely the best tread pattern out of every Jordan, or anything with a herringbone type of tread pattern, like the 11s, the 5s, anything like that. Typically, I feel gives more traction. I don't think these give very good traction, at least not on hardwood. On concrete, maybe, but not that I've ever played on hard. Well, yeah, kind of have. But anyhow, so all in all, it's a pretty solid shoe. Now, like I said, I wanted to review these Jordan 7 Cardinals, which are dropping this Saturday. Okay, I wanted to do a whole like two-fisted review for you guys, but didn't get them in yet. But I will have them in by next Tuesday, so I'll review them when I get them in. But a couple quick tips. Now, this shoe is dropping next Tuesday on the Sneakers app. Okay, 12/20. It's going to retail for about $225. The Cardinal, which is dropping this Saturday, retails for about $210. Now, here's my advice: do not buy these shoes on Sneakers app. Don't buy them from Foot Locker. Don't buy them from Champs. I'm going to tell you why. Because right now, both of these shoes, the Cardinal and this one, are trading on StockX well below retail price. Matter of fact, like I said, I picked these up back in August for about, it was on a whim. I put a low ball bid in. I think I got them for like $160. So when you figure in, okay, so $160, you figure in the seller's fees, shipping and tax, it still came out to a lot cheaper than what Jordan would have charged me if I bought it straight from the Sneakers app at retail price. This happens sometimes. It's not often, but it is a fucking gift when it happens. Okay? So, I try not to curse on the sneaker reviews. I don't know why. I just did. Oh, wow. So like I said, if you want this shoe, right? If you like this, you want it. First of all, this is not going to sell out. This and the Cardinals are not selling out. These are going to sit. The Citrus sat. Okay? It's just because, again, Jordan 7s are not like, I mean, this is somebody's go-to shoe, but it's not the majority of the sneakerheads' go-to shoe. Like a 1, an 11, a 5, things like that. They're going to fly off the shelf. These, which is fine. Because somebody's going to want, like, I love this shoe. I think it's cool. I like the colorway. You know what I mean? It's very comfortable. But my advice to you is don't even wait till Tuesday. Right now, this particular shoe on StockX right now is between $156 and $176. And I told you, retail on it is $225. Okay? You're paying an extra $15 than you should for a 7 because of this little strap right here. Okay? Typically, a Jordan 7 will retail around $210 in today's market. So you're going to pay a little bit more of a premium. Again, you got premium material on here. That's nice. But you could buy this shoe for $156 right now on StockX. As a matter of fact, even the Cardinal, which is dropping this Saturday, is on StockX for between $194 to $200. Okay, so you can even go in and lowball that. Okay, so like if I was going to buy the Cardinal right now, I would probably go onto the Sneakers app and I'd probably put in a bid for like $180. See if somebody grabs it, and most likely someone will because they know this shoe is not selling out. Okay, this is going to sit. It'll drop when this drops next Tuesday. You don't have to rush to the Sneakers app to buy it because these have been sitting around for a long time. See, here's a fun fact that most people don't know. Asian countries and European countries typically get their Jordans about 6 months before the States get them. Now, I could explain why Asia gets them earlier, because it's pretty much where they're made. Why Europe gets them early, I'm not quite sure. And it's not with every drop, but just most of them. The States get it. So the States should have gotten them. The States should have been dropping this shoe probably in August, which is, I think, when it was slated to drop. But Jordan Brand, since COVID, all their drops have gotten jumbled up. Like they pushed everything back. So this, like I said, was on StockX over the summer, and I put a low ball bid in, and I got it, and I was like, okay. And I guess, and I didn't see it slated for a drop anytime in the summer, let alone the fall. So I just figured, well, they just forgot about it, because sometimes that happens too. But it just turns out they decided to drop it like the Tuesday before Christmas. Like I said, this thing is sitting. You'll be able to get this on the Sneakers app. You'll be able to get it on Foot Locker, Foot Action. You wait a couple months, you might even find it at an outlet. But if you really want the shoe, buy it now. Go on StockX, like I said, for $156 or even less. Okay, you can get this below retail, which is $2.25. Okay, and like I said, by the time they factor everything in, you're still cheaper than Nike, so you get it on sale. You're welcome. Okay, same with the Cardinal, which we'll talk about next week. Now, let's talk about pairing this up. So like I said, most of these sneaker reviews, nobody talks about the lids. And since I've done that on the Jordan 11 review, I've had so many, thank yous, and, people keep watching the video. So, hey, listen, keep watching it, like, subscribe, helps the channel out. So let's talk about what we're going to lid this up with. Now, me personally, I like to pair this with a Rangers hat. Huh? Not too many sneakerheads are hockey fans. See, I'm an anomaly. But if you look at this, look, it pairs perfectly. Matter of fact, that's why I bought this shoe, because it works so well with all of my Rangers swag. So if you need something to wear to the game at the Garden, bam, there you go. Okay? So, like I said, this would work with any kind of red, white, and blue colorway. I feel like it just looks better with Ranger gear. So, you wear your Rangers jersey with this. You got a nice Rangers hoodie, your hat, your kicks, your Rangers jacket. This shoe would go perfect. It's like they made this for the New York Rangers. If they had New York Rangers on the back instead of this Quai 54, I probably would have paid $400 for the shoe just for that reason. But thankfully they don't, and I didn't have to spend that much, so there you go. I got a little gift from Nike. But like I said, this will pair perfectly with any kind of red, white, and blue colorway. If you happen to grab the MLB 4th of July hat from this year, this also works very well, okay? I've worn both of these lids with this shoe, and they both pair very well. Like I said, Rangers gear, this shoe, and you're good to go. So, that's it for now. I'll see you guys on the next review when we talk about the Jordan 7 Cardinal. Until then, I'll see you when I see you.